Fallout is already beginning in Canada over sweeping new tariffs announced yesterday by U.S. President Donald Trump. Although Canada and Mexico were not among the list of over 60 countries facing new reciprocal tariffs, Canada remains under previous economy-wide duties Trump links to national security reasons regarding fentanyl. Exempt from those tariffs are most goods imported under the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement. But for now, and until details are worked out about percentages of the American makeup of a vehicle, all foreign automobiles were hit at midnight with 25% tariffs. Joining us now with reaction is Terry Shaw from the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, is there a sense of relief today, or confusion, or worry? Where are you?
Yes, all of the above. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but again, I think what the United States has done is reconfirm its unpredictability, its unreliability as a trading partner. We were told to expect something, we prepared for that thing, and then that thing didn't come, right? Tariffs are still in place, automobiles, fuel, energy, and what we also have is if you're non-CUSMA compliant, and last time I checked, and this was many weeks ago, so I'm sure people have taken steps since then, but about a third of goods moved between Canada and U.S. moved CUSMA compliance, which means 2/3 of goods didn't, right? And so there is still possible exposure to tariffs right now, despite the changes announced yesterday.
But I mean, the reaction from the world is happening. The markets are down in almost every sector. What are your thoughts on that? How is that going to ripple here?
Again, time will tell. Who knows, right? China, Japan, and the EU, I think, represent about 1/3 of U.S. imports. Are all facing 20% plus tariffs. Is that good for Canada? Will that create an economic chill in the United States, which is bad for Canada, right? Like, it's, again, the uncertainty is really troubling and damaging.
Now, Mark Carney said Donald Trump's global tariff regime will fundamentally change the international trading system. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah,
he's absolutely correct, and he's the economist, and he's much better at this stuff than I am. But again, it's this global uncertainty. What are we doing to our established relationships, our established supply chains, and our established, costing bases back and forth here, right? So the uncertainty between Canada, Mexico, and the United States was troubling enough, and now he just, wrapped that whole uncertainty blanket around the globe. So there is a lot going on, and time will tell what it will actually mean to the Canadian economy. What
are some of the businesses that that are members of your organization saying at this point?
I haven't had a chance since yesterday to actually talk to anybody. Being caught up trying to learn, so that when I do communicate with them, I can communicate them from a point of education. But again, it was the uncertainty that was the most troubling. I actually heard from members that said, just make a decision, implement it, go so we have some certainty, right? And so they were planning for those 25% tariffs, and now that's been dialed back. So I've got a lot of calls I need to make today, and time will tell.
And what is happening right now here are some of the announcements that have been made by either the federal government and then the province. How is that helping? Is it helping in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, recently last week the province announced a $1.5 million Made in Manitoba Tariff Relief Fund. We're helping strengthen business-to-business connections, business-to-consumer connections to support that local procurement. We are having a manufacturing summit May 13th, so stay tuned for details on that. And we have $800,000 worth of tariff relief or CUSMA compliance supports that companies can access to get themselves to compliance they need to mitigate or avoid the tariffs.
Now, Carney is meeting with the premiers today. They're going to discuss how to handle this. What would you like to see happen?
Much like we've been talking about all along, how do you support that by Canadian? How do you support that by local? Procurement reform, interprovincial trade barrier reduction and removal. How do we make it easier for Canadians to do business with each other?
And we're in the midst of an election right now. Do you think that's creating even more pressure on this market?
Absolutely, yeah. The fact that we don't have a government in place, the fact that governments are operating under blackout federally anyways, is providing some challenge, absolutely.
So election day could come at a better time.
Yes, let's go.
It's time, all right. Well, thank you, Terry, for sharing your perspective and your time with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.